everyone, this is Captain Kautsky with 501st Physical Therapy and H2F. During this COVID-19 time, H2F has been here to try and keep you guys healthy, motivated, and physically fit, and hopefully try and help you keep off that quarantine 15. And we will continue trying to provide these motivational tools during our videos and weekly newsletters, so be sure to try and check those out on 501st Facebook and Instagram pages. However, I'm here to talk to you guys more about safety concerns today as you're trying to do these challenges and push yourself and be the best that you can be. All right, so obviously we want you guys to get a good workout in. However, we don't want you to push yourselves to the point of breaking where you could get an injury or even possibly a heat illness. We definitely don't want any of those things, okay? So while you're trying to challenge yourself, do the workouts, exercises, and challenges, be sure to kind of keep these tips and tricks in the back of your head, okay? Because we can definitely get a good workout in, but stay safe. So the first one is be honest with yourself, okay? If you've been using this quarantine season as more of a relaxation tool and not doing too much, if you were given the challenge of doing 100 push-ups, you probably wouldn't be able to knock those out right away, as opposed to if you've been, working on your push-ups this whole quarantine season that's lasted about a month to 2 months. So if you feel like that's not something that's doable, really work on your reps and sets, okay? So obviously you're not going to push out those 100 push-ups all at once. You may have once been able to do that, but now you're feeling a little rusty. So you could easily knock that out, but it's going to take a little bit more time. For instance, you could do 10 sets of 10 repetitions with a little bit of rest in between to make sure that you're still recovering appropriately. Or if you feel like I could bust it out throughout the day, absolutely. You could do 3 sets of 10 at breakfast, at lunch, and at dinner, and then knock the last 10 out right before bed. So 100 repetitions doesn't seem that bad if you're spreading it out throughout the day, but you still accomplish the same goal. And that's ultimately what matters. So make sure that you're breaking it up appropriately as you need to. Same thing can go for running, for rucking, for anything along those lines. You can break it up throughout the day at appropriate times in the day, which is what we'll talk about later, okay? The next thing is the heat, okay? Obviously we live in El Paso, Texas. It's hot and it's getting even hotter, okay? So with that, you really need to plan your workouts accordingly, especially if you're going to break it up throughout the day. Now, obviously, if you're working out at home, in a garage, someplace that's shaded and cool, not too big of an issue. But if you are planning on going outside, going for a run, going for a ruck, those types of things, I highly encourage you to do that either before 9 or 10 a.m., before those peak temperatures start to get up there, or after 7 p.m. when the sun starts setting and those temperatures start dropping again, okay? You may feel like you're getting a better workout at noon because you're sweating like crazy, you're huffing and puffing and all this other type of thing. However, you're not really getting much work out of it because you can't work as much when your body is basically trying to regulate its temperature and not focus on putting power into whatever effort you're trying to get accomplished, okay? So, and then you're just, once again, putting yourself at risk of a heat cat, and that's not something that we want to have any of our soldiers go through, especially during this quarantine time, okay? Along with the heat goes hydration. So, with that being said, even if we're not doing that much throughout the peak hot hours of the day, we're still constantly sweating, constantly breathing heavier because we're trying to regulate our body temperature, okay? With that being said, we're losing a lot more water throughout the day. So with that, we obviously need to be taking in more liquid, okay? And I'm not talking about Monsters or Red Bulls or, Bangs, that type of thing. I'm talking about water, okay? And if we're doing a long activity, maybe Gatorade, okay? But making sure that we are taking in enough liquid to replace the amount that we're sweating, the amount that we're breathing out, that type of thing, okay? So if you have any additional questions about that, once again, the newsletters that I've mentioned before, our dietitian has put out some guidelines of what you should be taking in as far as liquid before, during, and after activity. She also has a couple tips of some different smoothies that you can make as far as hydration after a workout, as well as refueling. Okay, so I would encourage you to check those out if you feel like you're not drinking enough throughout the day. Okay. The next thing is supplements. Okay, so obviously we need to be taking in more fluid. However, I know we're also taking a lot of supplements. Okay, a lot of soldiers take a lot of different things, whether it's pre-workout, post-workout, BCAAs, creatine. I could go on and on. However, a lot of us don't necessarily know how heat and exercise are affected by supplements, whether it increases your blood pressure, increases your heart rate, increases, your overall core temperature type of thing. A lot of these things can ultimately don't affect us throughout the day, but ultimately could affect us if, we add extreme heat or different elements to this, okay? So make sure you kind of do some research and know that what you are taking is safe in heat conditions or for cardio conditions, etc. Or you could, once again, reach out to our dietitian, Taylor. Her contact information is always at the bottom of our newsletters, or you can just reach out to me at 269-369-3813, and I can get you in contact with any H2F member that you would like. Okay? One of the last things that we have is the environment. So once again, we live in El Paso, Texas. It is the desert, okay? And right now it's just past peak rattlesnake season. And obviously rattlesnakes aren't the only thing that we're worried about, but they're a little scarier than most. I've seen a couple already in Northeast El Paso. With that being said, if you plan on doing more bike rides, more runs, more rucks, those types of things, these are things you need to be looking out for, okay? Snakes, bugs, whatever. A lot of things in the desert generally want to bite you, okay? So make sure that you're being safe, make sure you're scanning the scene, all that type of stuff when you're going on these outdoor adventures, and making sure that you're staying safe and you have an emergency action plan if, God forbids, the worst does happen and you get bit or stung or whatever in the desert. All right. The last one that we're going to talk about is going to be foot and hand care. So I've mentioned rucking, running, push-ups a lot. Okay, so we're constantly working out with our feet and our hands right now because it's the main thing that we have, since there's no gyms open, and if the gyms are open, we're not allowed to go anyway. So with that, make sure that you're taking care of your feet and your hands. Using powder if they're getting too wet, using moleskin if you're starting to get blisters, changing out your socks regularly, keeping our hands callus free so that we don't get, additional blisters or wear and tear. The physical therapists are going to start pushing out videos for foot and hand care if you need some extra tips and tricks. So be on the lookout for that in the 501st Facebook or Instagram page. Okay? Other than that, basically, once again, H2F is here for you to challenge you, but also to keep you safe. Okay, so if you feel like you have pushed yourself past the breaking point and you've gone into that injury zone, once again, just give me a call at 269-369-3813, and we can take care of an injury, or once again, get you in contact with any of the H2F members that you feel like would be the most helpful for you, okay? Because at the end of the day, we want to help you guys be ready first and always win. All right, you all have a great day. Bye.